So, good morning, welcome to this new weekly update video. So, for those of you who are here for the actual topic of the video, I'm gonna put a timestamp on the screen right now, or also in the description below, so you can skip the first part if you're not interested in that. So yeah, here on my channel I always do like weekly reviews about my past week, so a little recap, what went well and what didn't went as well or as planned. So yeah, for those of you who are not interested in that, you can skip the video and go to the timestamp I just put on the screen. So yeah, last week I went only once to the gym, so that's pretty bad. But yeah, for those of you who saw my last video know that I was sick, so I couldn't really go more often, so it didn't really make sense to to go to the gym if I'm sick, so I can't really lift heavy or have like a proper gym session and increase my weights or my reps. So I said, okay, I rather recover properly and then I'm able to go again, lift heavy and do a proper gym session. So yeah, I only went once, so that's pretty bad. So right now I have like a 3-day gym schedule. For those of you who saw previous videos, I'm doing like an 8-month program from Gregor Gallagher right now. So I really definitely enjoy it because it's only 3 times, and every time I go I'm really motivated to go because I used to go at least 5 times. So now every time I go to the gym, I'm really motivated because I can go again. And I also see that I am able to increase my weights or my reps each time, so that's really cool to see, and then you're more motivated to go again. So either way, last week I only managed to go once, so I'm super excited and happy to go more often, at least a few times again this week. But besides that, I also meditated again 6 times last week with the Dr. Joe Dispenza meditation for 45 minutes each. So that went way more well again like the last week. So I'm definitely tried or said last week that I want to get back into that habit again, and I definitely managed to meditate properly again in the morning after waking up. So that's cool, and I'm excited about that. And I also finally finished the book The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. So for those of you who saw my last video know that I read 1 book a week, and this book on this book I'm already reading for like, I don't know, it's always I think it's already the 3rd week, so that's just pretty bad. I really enjoyed the book, so it's not because of the book, to be honest. I definitely enjoyed it. It's an amazing book, but it's in English and I'm German, so sometimes there are sentences or a lot of words in there I really don't understood, or I need to understand the concept behind it. So I had to search some words up a lot of the time, or really read a lot of sentences a couple of times to really understand them. And but either way, it was a really good book, and I finally managed to go through it. And I also read another book. It was a smaller book, but also really a really great book. I definitely would recommend it. The Greatest Salesman in the World. I think I'm gonna put an image on here. Because I read the last book for like 3 weeks, I said, okay, I need to get back into it this week, and definitely need to finish this book and at least finish another one. So yeah, it wasn't a long book, the second one, but I think it's like 80 pages or something like that. I finished that as well. So I'm pretty happy about that, to get back into that habit properly. So my goal at the beginning of the year was to finish 1 book a week, or read 1 book a week. And I think right now I'm on count 50, and we still have like 3 or 4 more weeks to go this year. So I'm pretty good on count. So that's fine for me. And that was pretty much my past week. So I'm happy to at least got back into meditating and reading again. So gym is definitely gonna be, I'm definitely gonna be back in it the upcoming week. So I'm pretty happy about that. And that's gonna be a wrap for my recap of my last week. And now I'm gonna get into the real topic of this video this week. So so right now I'm on my way to the gym. So I'm not gonna train today, but on the weekend I'm a lot of the times going to the gym just for the steam room sauna. So I really enjoyed it to recover a little bit. And yesterday I was in a club. So yeah, I think it's always great to end the week with a little steam room sauna, or to get back up again. So yeah, I will check back in later on and then go to the topic of this video. So now I'm gonna talk about the actual topic of this video, and yeah, the title, it may be a little bit dramatic, but at the end of the day I would say it's actually pretty accurate, and I'm really thankful and grateful for him and for the things I've learned and I took to learn from him. And yeah, now I'm gonna share pretty much the top 3 things Iman I've learned from Iman, or I picked up from him, that yeah, at the end of the day saved my life. So yeah, as dramatic as it might sound, but yeah, let's get into it. The first point is basically that he really opened my eyes to what's really possible. So I always knew, okay, there's something more out there, and I don't just have to go to uni and stuff like that. So since I'm 14, I'm tried different things and started businesses and stuff like that. But yeah, when I found out about him like 3 years ago, mainly roughly, I stumbled across his YouTube channel, and yeah, there was this really young guy who, okay, back then hasn't been as successful as he is right now, but still had a lot of success and was definitely way further in his life or on his journey than myself. So yeah, that was just super inspiring to see, especially like a young guy who's like, I mean, back then he was like, I think 18, I was probably like 16, 17, and yeah, this was just super amazing to see, because back then I always just followed like guys who were like 30, 35, I don't know, like just some older dudes who also, I'm gonna go into that point later on, but also didn't had like real values, principles and like standards they set themselves, and just like some business guys who had like a shit life outside of business, just made a lot of cash, but that's pretty much that was pretty much it. So yeah, I pretty much only followed like guys who were like way older, had success, yes, but that's also pretty much it. If you looked behind the curtains or behind the scenes, like these guys were just pretty much super successful and had a lot of cash, but they had like shitty personal life, like no dating life, no nothing going on for them elsewhere besides cash. So yeah, that was just super inspiring to finally also see a young guy who was killing it in life, who yeah, and also in combination with self-development, personal development, really grew. And you saw, okay, every yeah, like a year later he basically achieved all his goals and was like just thriving in life. So that was just amazing to see, and also especially with the fact that he was young. So I mean, he was older than me, okay, but like not that far away from the age, and also had like a lot of things beside business. So not just cash and successful in the business, but also successful in dating, successful in health, and pretty much had everything going on for him. So that really opened my mind to what I said earlier, what's possible in general, also at such a young age, and also that you don't have to choose. So it's not like, oh, either way you're gonna have a business or a beautiful relationship or the health. I mean, he showed me that no, you don't have to decide, you can have it all if you want to, and if you work towards it, and you don't have to choose between these things, you can have it all. So was just super inspiring and really eye-opening back then, when I was like, yeah, 16, 17, where I was just struggling and wanted to get successful, but always just had like these false or wrong role models, I would say, who yeah, sure, they could teach something about business, but you just knew that they at the first place weren't really happy, or just didn't had a lot of things besides business going on for them. So yeah, that was just really cool to see someone who's like just a little bit older than yourself, and who pretty much had it all. So not just business, but all 3 or 4 main areas in his life. So yeah, that was pretty much the first point, and was really key for me back then, and really important. So yeah, the next point, or the second point, is I think he's an absolutely mindset genius. So it's insane what I've learned from him about it, and that's not probably, but I'm 100% certain that that's also the main point why I pretty much failed with my business back then. So for those of you who already watched my videos a little bit longer, probably know it. I will also do a little bit more detailed video about it in the future. But yeah, I pretty much already had my own business, and I started when I was like 17. It was like my main business where I also succeeded and had like a 5-figure profit month, almost 6-figure revenue month. Yeah, so I was doing pretty decent numbers in there, but at the end of the day, yeah, I managed to lose it all, or not just all, but more than all. And right now I'm in a pretty rough situation. I'm in pretty huge debt, so I have to pay off a lot of money from my old business back then. I don't want to go into too much detail about that right now, but yeah, looking back on it, I definitely know that mindset was probably the biggest factor why I got into this situation, why I lost it all. Because yeah, back then I always just said, okay, yeah, I know I'm just gonna focus on my business. I want to make money. I'm not gonna do all this mindset stuff and blah blah. It's not really important. And at the end of the day, it caught me, and yeah, I lost it all. So now looking back, I mean, I'm way smarter about it, and I know what didn't really work and why yeah, I got into this situation. But looking back, I also know or see that Iman always preached and talked about mindset and how important it is. And yeah, I mean, right now I'm really focusing heavily on mindset and to get the things in here right. So the next time I'm gonna start a business again, or I'm gonna work in there again, I know that my mindset is on the right place, and that's not gonna be a problem anymore. And yeah, that's also where he really opened my eyes to. And I also bought like his old course, like Agency Incubator, and also now Agency Navigator. Yeah, I was never really into the agency model, so I started other kind of business. Sorry, just a car drove by. It's a little bit weird to stand here in the forest and record myself, so I had to cut it real quick. Yeah, but I bought both of his courses, and I was never really into the agency model, but started a different business. But I just knew, okay, the value in there just for the mindset modules are gonna be insane, and it is insane. I mean, he's also preaching, talking about it on his YouTube channel. But yeah, I mean, for those of you who are also GYA members, probably know it. I mean, his mindset modules are just crazy, and the SBA sheet in there and stuff like that is just really high value. And yeah, that's why I think it's also really important, and that's why it's also super cool to see him also take that topic seriously and also talks about it in his programs, because he knows it's like a huge part about becoming successful mindset. And yeah, I bought a lot of courses in my life, but really no course really, sometimes they don't even talk about it at all, or just touch on it briefly and make like 1 or 2 videos about it, but it's just like not enough, and no real techniques about how you can implement stuff or how you can grow your mindset and expand your mindset. They just talk about it's important, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's also super cool to see that he's really taking it seriously. And I mean, he's proof of concept basically. I mean, just look at him. I mean, I'm following him since 3 years, and the growth he's having in the last 3 years is just absolutely insane. And I think he's like the biggest proof to all of you, or to everyone, that yeah, if you have your mindset in place and on the right spot, it's just absolutely insane what you are capable of achieving, and what's possible. So yeah, that's my second point, that he really opened my eyes to the mindset topic. And yeah, I think he's just an absolutely insane mindset genius. And yeah, that's point 2. So the third thing I'm going to talk about today, what I've learned from him, is like his insane standards, high values and principles he's holding himself accountable to. I think that's super inspiring to see, and he's really pretty much the first person who really introduced me to that concept of having your own values, standards and non-negotiables, principles in your life. And that's was also one main goal for myself this year. at the beginning of this year, I set this goal to really figure out, okay, what are my values, what are my non-negotiables, principles in life, and standards I want to set or hold myself accountable to. And I got into real depth this year about these topics. And I think it's just super inspiring to see in his own life how is he doing it. And you can pretty much see it in all his areas in life. I mean, look at his programs, his YouTube channel, his private life, whatever you want to look at. He's pretty much having in all his areas standards, high standards, values and principles he's holding himself accountable, and especially also non-negotiables. And I think that's super crucial and important, especially in today's day and age. And I mean, I see this for myself. I mean, sure, you can probably tell I don't hold myself to the highest standards with these videos, for example, yet. But for me right now, it's more important to be consistent with them instead of having the highest standards and trying to do it in perfection every time, because I know I'm not gonna sustain that long term right now, because I have other stuff to do, and that's not my main focus. It's just I want to document my journey and feel inspired by others to do it and have fun while doing it. So but in other areas in my life, like for example the gym or meditating or reading books, I really have like standards, and for me it's an absolute non-negotiable to read a book a week. I mean, sure, you heard at the beginning of this video that I also have like some times where I take like 3 weeks to finish a book, but my standard is okay, 52 books in a year, 52 weeks. And if I accomplish that, I'm fine. So maybe sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to finish a book. I don't always finish it in 1 week, but if the average over the year is correct, then I'm happy with it. And also with the gym, I mean, sure, if I'm sick, it's not the best. But it's an absolutely standard for me and a non-negotiable to go at least 3 or 4 times to the gym a week, and also meditate 5 or 6 times every week. So these are like standards. So I've worked hard this year to so that these things become standards in my life. And for me right now, it's more unnormal to not do these things than doing them. So that's really where you want to get yourself to with whatever habit you want to build. And I think that's just super inspiring to see from him the values and standards he's having for himself. And I think the challenge or the thing about it is to always try to upper your standards every year or every month or whatever you want to choose. And that's also one thing I saw with all these gurus I was following, what I talked earlier about when I was like 14, 15, 16, learning about business and all that kind of stuff. You could just tell right now, looking back, I mean, back then I didn't knew it, but they just didn't have any real values, principles or non-negotiables in their life, and you could tell. I mean, they just made a bunch of money, but that's pretty much it. And they didn't really give a fuck about their students or whatever. And that's really crazy to see to what high things he's holding himself accountable. It's already such a young age, but I think that's really, really important and crucial. And that's what I'm also pretty much the most grateful for about that concept that he's introduced myself to. I mean, sure, the title is a little bit dramatic, but I mean, at the end of the day, you can say what you want, but I would say he, to a certain extent, did save my life. I mean, if I look back and would have followed these other gurus a little bit longer and didn't found him 3 years ago, I don't know what kind of person I would become now, or what I would have become. Sure, it's a little bit dramatic, but I think you get the point of it. And that's my third point for this video. And I would say definitely one of the most important ones from these 3. I mean, they are important, but at least in the last year, that point really was important for me, and I really learned a lot from it. So these are pretty much my 3 points. So at last I just had like one more point that popped in my head. So I said, okay, I want to also include that one, so like a little bonus point. And it's like kind of like a little mantra I'm repeating to myself every single day I've heard from him. And yeah, it's pretty simple. So the mantra is basically, or the sentence he's saying on YouTube and stuff like that a lot of times, or I heard him say it a lot, is what other option do you have? So as simple as that sounds, I kind of repeat that to myself like a mantra, like I just mentioned, and it really motivates and inspires me, especially, or at least in my situation right now. So I always tell myself if something is hard and I don't want to do it, or I say, I want to skip the gym today, or I feel just demotivated with my current situation and where I am right now, not really feel inspired to continue and to grow my mindset and all this stuff, I just repeat to myself like, what other option do you have? I mean, it's really simple, but I think there's so much truth in that, like, or at least in my situation, I said like, okay, I mean, is it really an option to stay at my job, to work 9 to 5, to don't have the freedom and the location freedom and financial independence in my life? And I say like, nah, I mean, it's absolutely no option to not have these things. So it's just like, what other option do you have? I mean, sure, you can like skip the gym today or watch Netflix instead of doing something productive or working on your business. But at the end of the day, you need to face it, and it's like, yeah, what other option do you have? I mean, I repeat myself, but there's just not other option. So I mean, even if you don't feel it right now, like, just keep at it, stay on your course, continue to follow through and grow your mindset, grow yourself, work on yourself every single day. And what other option do you really have? So I think that's super simple, but it really motivates me and inspires me, so I keep telling it myself, and it works for me. So I hope that little bonus point also inspires some of you. So so that's already gonna be it for now. So thanks for watching. For those of you who never saw me before, or just saw the first video of mine here on this channel, like I mentioned briefly in this video earlier, I'm like on my way, like I called my channel, from debt to success again. I'm kind of recording like weekly update videos on my journey, what went well, what didn't went as planned or as well. And I just really enjoy doing these videos, and really looking forward in a couple of years to look back and see what kind of idiot I've been, and where I pretty much came from. And so if you're interested in that or feel inspired, definitely check out some older videos of mine, or follow me on my journey. And I would love to see you again on some future videos. I mean, these videos aren't like super high quality and high production videos yet, but I feel inspired to do them and have fun while doing them. So I think that's cool. And besides that, if Iman sees that, or some team members of him, I just want to say really a huge thank you from my side. I feel really inspired, and it's really amazing to see all the progress and all the lives you're impacting, and it's just crazy to see. And also the journey in general, that's also what inspires me mainly to do this channel, and to be able to look back in a couple of years where I started, because I see it with Iman's channel. It's just, I think nobody really can't be inspired by that story, and see where he came from, and look at him at like 16 years old, going to London to some bookstores, and now flying private, and having all these businesses. So I think that's just super cool, and it's amazing to see what you guys doing, and I feel super inspired. And it's crazy to see how many people and lives you impact positively. And I just want to say a huge thank you from my side. And you're definitely gonna see more of me in the future. I'm definitely planning on I mean, maybe not on that scale as you are doing it, but definitely want to also impact people's lives, and for the positive. And thanks again from my side, and thanks for watching, guys, and see you next week again.